Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States, a lawyer, a husband, and probably most importantly, a father to four wonderful boys. But sometimes Abraham was almost too much as a friend as he was a father to his boys. One of Abraham's most favorite quotes is, "It is my pleasure that my children are free and happy and unrestrained from parental tyranny." Hi, I'm Ranger Isaiah, and please join me as we talk about Abraham's oldest son, Robert. On August 1st, 1843, the oldest son of the Lincolns, Robert, was born in the Globe Tavern in Springfield, Illinois. In early 1844, Abraham and Mary purchased this home on 8th and Jackson Streets and would live in this home for 17 years. When Robert first moved into this home, he was only 9 months old. Robert would see this home go from a 1.5-story cottage to this 2-story, 12-room home. Robert within this home would also welcome his 3 younger brothers and see the death of his first brother, Edward. Just like the other Lincoln boys, Robert liked to get into his fair amount of mischief. One instance of this was with him and his friend Josiah Kent. They ended up borrowing Abraham's carriage to take it out into the countryside. As they were in the countryside, they managed to damage part of the carriage. And with neither Josiah or Robert being able to repair it, Robert quickly took it to the blacksmith. Josiah ended up observing Robert's wrongdoings, as Robert ended up taking dust and putting it on the newly painted area to make the area look old so Lincoln wouldn't notice. Although Lincoln didn't notice the old paint, he did notice Robert's hard work ethic. In late 1864, Robert joined the Union Army during the U.S. Civil War. Robert didn't see any frontline combat, but probably the most memorable event he witnessed was the surrender of Robert E. Lee at Appomattox Courthouse. On April 9th, 1865, the surrender was made, and the Civil War drew to a close. In April 1865, Abraham offered Robert this word of advice: "You must lay aside your uniform and return to college." Later in his life, Robert would revisit the military. Similar to his father, Robert was a very persistent individual. When he failed the entrance exam into Harvard, he showed his resilience by taking to the books and studying even harder at preparatory school, which would eventually allow him to be admitted into Harvard. After graduating from Harvard, he was admitted into Harvard Law School. This is where Robert earned his law degree. Robert Todd Lincoln would follow in his father's footsteps by becoming a lawyer as well as involved in politics. From 1889 to 1893, he was U.S. Minister to the United Kingdom. And a little later on, he ended up becoming General Counsel and President of the Pullman Car Company. Pullman, like Lincoln's home, became a national park in 2015. Now, Robert ended up donating the home of Abraham's to the state of Illinois in 1887, with the stipulation that the home be free access to all who visited Abraham Lincoln's home. Robert ended up passing away shortly before his 83rd birthday in 1926 in his home in Vermont. Through fighting in the U.S. Civil War and by becoming the 35th Secretary of War, Robert ended up receiving the honor of being buried in Arlington National Cemetery. The life of Robert ended up being longer than all of his brothers combined. And it is perhaps through Robert's life that we have a greater understanding of Abraham Lincoln's lifelong legacy.